Either one. All right, we are recording and we're live in the Facebook group. So again, just that housekeeping item, if you are on an iPad or an iPhone, if you can mute yourself, that is super helpful. And then we'll kind of get everybody else as you're already on and as you're coming on. But welcome to tonight's call. It is, I lose track of the days. I don't know if you guys still do, but it is Monday, July 20th. Where has 2020 gone? I don't know. It's the most surreal, crazy year on record. It's the most kind of surreal, cool summit on record. And we're here tonight to give you some thoughts, some ideas, some actions as a sort of roundup post summit. So my name is Julie Voris. If we are not friends yet, I hope that happens next year, live and in person in St. Louis. But welcome to tonight's call. And I'm going to kind of set the tone for us tonight, and then we're going to dive into some of the announcements and some of the other pieces of what you can do this week as, you know, we actually get into what Summit's all about, which is the action of helping people, helping others, help others. So some of you might know that Danielle and Tony and I have hosted a post-Summit event the past several years. Nashville and Indianapolis, and of course had one scheduled this year, but you know, we'll see about next year in St. Louis. So I love talking about Summit actually after Summit is over. It's like that moment where we can all take a little bit of a breath. We've got a notebook full of stuff and we get a chance to look through it. And I always think that it comes at such a perfect time because for me, Summit is a reminder and a reigniter. It's a reminder of what we do so strongly and so tangibly, whether it's virtual or live, but it's also that reigniter because, you know, this is a business of momentum and energy, as is life. But this business in particular, your energy really determines what kind of business you are building and creating every single day. And Summit is that opportunity where during the moment, you're not actually sending invites and doing all the things. You're just soaking it in and really refilling your tank at that time so that you can go out and change more lives. It is that sort of frozen moment in time. And in this particular instance, it feels like halftime. I've been talking to my team and I'm talking to another group that I'm collaborating with. And that's the phrase that I've been using. This feels like halftime right now. And what happens at halftime? Well, if your husband is a football coach, like mine is, you know very well what happens at halftime. And there is a meeting of the minds when you go into the locker room, and it's a recalibration. It's maybe a stay on track. It's a what have we been doing in the first half? Is that going to translate to the second half? It's a where are we and where are we going? Because we got 2 quarters left to play. And that's exactly where we are right now. We're in quarter 3, we've got quarter 3, we've got quarter 4, we've got 2 quarters left to play. And before we know it, December 31st is going to be here because I'm guaranteeing you like me are looking at July 20th going, where the heck did this year go? I don't care if we've been in quarantine for 5 or 6 months. We're all looking around going, where the heck did this year go? Yes, raise your hand if that is you at all. And especially if you have little ones. Especially if you have children. It is like, Chua! I mean, my middle one turns 22 on Thursday. That's inconceivable to me because yesterday she was 2. That's how fast time goes. So we're going to blink and we're going to be like, remember Summit yesterday, except it's going to be 5 months from now. It's going to be December 31st. And this moment right now, this July, while we are actively working and we're actively inviting and we're actively bringing coaches into our groups, connecting them with MBF, MBFA, it's also a moment to sort of recalibrate and go, okay, let me take this notebook full of notes and see where I want to go in the next 2 quarters. This day, Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday even, might not be the day that we put it all into play. This is our halftime moment. This is the moment where we can look at 2020 and go, well, this is not anything like what I thought 2020 was going to be. But yet here we are. Here we are. And I have been to every summit except the very, very first one. I've been to Summit when Shaun T did a workout in a random hotel conference room that you didn't need a ticket or a bracelet to get in. You just walked in. He was on a stage, I don't know, 3 or 4 feet, tall. And I just stood in the front row with about 50 other people that were in that room. Like I've been at every single summit. I've watched every single presentation. I've been in all the trainings. I've seen every iteration. I was there in the room, as I'm sure many of you were, when Carl had us hold up our phones and we lit up that stadium with the light that we all have. Summit is that moment to take a breath, to take notes, and decide how we're going to take action in the second half of the year. Summit is not the moment where we take a bunch of pictures with our super trainers and go, woohoo, that's cool. No, it is the moment where we go, all right, here we are on July 20th. And while the year may not look like what we thought it would look like, that doesn't mean the business stops. Just because the year feels weird and different doesn't mean the business is weird and different. Carl Daikeler shared that with us, how strong and forward the business is moving. So if you're thinking, well, the business is hard, no, it's not. You're just making it hard for you, and that's not the truth. Feelings are not facts. This is our halftime moment. And we've taken in all this amazing content, and we have the opportunity now to look at it and go, okay, where are we going to go between now and December 31st? Because the time's going to pass anyway. And there's going to be coaches who do something with it and coaches who don't. And we get to decide which coach we want to be. Now, all that being said, we've got amazing stuff coming out. And we had these moments at Summit where it was like Carl was literally looking into the computer and talking right to us. I mean, drop a heart in the chat if you felt that too, because I know there were thousands and thousands and thousands of coaches watching at the same time I was, but I'm telling you, he was talking to me. He was talking to me. All those, Kendra Hall, she was talking to me. That's how intimate this summit felt. And what a shame it would be to have felt that connection, that deep, deep connection that frankly is hard to feel from a stage to the third row in an arena. What a shame it would be to have felt that connection and do nothing with it. So we have a choice, what we're going to do August, September, October, November, and December. And I've got some thoughts for you, and then I'm going to flip it over to Alyssa, who's got more thoughts for you on announcements. So number one, you took lots of notes like I did. This is a notebook that I bought specifically for Summit. A, it's cute. B, it's small. And I knew that I wouldn't fill up like a regular, ginormous size notebook. But the reason why I bought a notebook for Summit is because now all my thoughts and feelings for July, really, any note that I took on any training, the National Wake Up Call, everything, it's just going to go in this notebook. So now I'm going to stick it on my desk. And when I pull it back out, I'm going to know these are my Summit notes. They're not on a random legal pad or in some obscure other notebook with other stuff. These are my Summit notes. So your job this week, these next couple days, probably won't take you that long, is to start going through these notes. This is the quote that Carl shared. I've never seen the story of a champion where the theme was easy. Did you write down quotes that people said? Were you writing down their words and their verbiage? Were you taking good notes? Because that's what leaders do. That's what people, even if you don't consider yourself a leader, even if that title kind of freaks you out a little bit, that's what people who want to learn and grow do. And y'all, this business, it's nothing but a personal growth journey wrapped up in an opportunity to connect some people with some products. This is a personal growth journey. So as you're taking these notes and you're looking back through these notes and you're looking through all your notes, illustrate the value in a story. So here I've got Kendra Hall, step into your greatness. You need to highlight the stuff that stands out at you, because I write down a lot. Some of it makes sense, some of it doesn't. So I got to go back and go, okay, now this 12-month vision that Carl talked about, that really connected with me. That really spoke to me. Maybe it didn't you, but it did to me. So that's going to be one of my pieces. If you have belief in a plan, you can succeed. That really connected with me too. A never-ending process of getting better together. All of those are pieces that really connected with me. I'm going to highlight those. I'm going to mark those. And then I'm going to have a bullet point list of the ideas and thoughts that really spoke to me, because we can't do it all, nor should we, because we won't do it well. So as you're recalibrating and you're in your locker room and you're getting ready to throw the ball or kick the ball or whatever you're going to do with your game plan in the second half, you actually have to have a game plan. And that comes from your notes. So you're looking through your notes, you're highlighting, and I would encourage you to take your top 3 to 5. If you got 30 or 50, none of that's getting done. So you got 3 to 5, and you need to kind of highlight those, bullet point those. These are the ones that you're going to focus on. And as you start to focus on them, referring back to the notes that you've taken, allowing the event to continue to fill your bucket, because that's the other piece that I want you to make sure that you've done. And if you didn't feel like you got it done, go back into the champions page, go back and find those and listen to them again. This event, whether it's live or virtual, should fill your buckets. It should. I hope you all, if you cried, please raise your hand. I mean, we were 2 minutes in to the opening session and I'm like, are you, Carl, are you kidding me? Really? Like, usually it's not that soon, but it was like, it was just special. And then Kim Carver on Saturday with the story, Be Like Sarah, like, what are you talking about? If you aren't, like, literally, I don't care whether you're an emotional person or not, if you are not listening to these stories and feeling something in your heart of hearts, if you're not in your feels during a moment like this, during an event like Summit, I'm going to encourage you to not only just go back and watch those again, but watch them with headphones in and by yourself and watch them. Because what we do and what Summit does is remind us about the legacy we're creating and the ripple effect that we're making every single day. And if that doesn't make you want to cry, it doesn't get you in your feels a little bit, y'all, you could be selling nail polish. We're not. We're selling life change. And that should make you want to cry a little bit. So look at those ideas, those thoughts, those feelings in that notebook that make you like, yes, that's what I want to do. Those are the ones that you're going to focus on. There's so many events and we're going to talk about, or so many announcements, so much information, so much stuff that's coming out. And we're going to talk about those tonight, but you got to pick and choose a little bit which ones you're going to put your energy into. My husband, when he comes out at halftime for the second half, cannot run every single play in the playbook. It's not going to work. They're not all good. But we can choose the ones that are. And that's what you're doing with your notes. What in your playbook can you implement and then learn and grow from? You're not going to get it right every time, but we're going to learn and we're going to grow from it. So you're going to rewatch your notes. You're going to rewatch those workshops. You're going to check yourself to make sure you're in your feels a little bit. Because if you're not, go watch Kim Carver again, for heaven's sake. If that doesn't help you understand the magnitude of what we do, just keep watching it till it does, because my goodness, what we do every day, what we get to do every day, and who we get to do it with, we have the coolest job on the planet. And it doesn't matter whether we come together live and in person or whether we come together virtually. The fact that we are connected by a desire and a passion to have a purpose that outlives us, that outlasts us, that's more important than whether we're sitting next to each other in a big stadium or we're watching with each other on a laptop. How many of you had the opportunity to include your family at this summit where it hadn't happened before? How cool was that? How cool was it that, my youngest daughter was watching this next to me when they announced 30-day breakaway. She immediately looked at me and goes, oh my gosh, Jenna, my oldest, Jenna would love that program. Like it's so family, like everybody in the family now knows what's happening because they could watch it. That's not happened before. It might not happen again. How cool is that? So for the next little bit, as we talk about the announcements and we talk about the information and we're talking about, what you can do with it, I really want you to dig in and think, how are you using this event? It can't just be another Zoom, y'all. It can't. You make the choice that it's not. That is a cognitive, intentional choice that you make, that it's not just another Zoom. We're all zoomed out. That's not what this was. This was something special, and it needs to be something special to you if you're going to do something with it in the second half. We've got 5.5-ish months left of this year. You've got a few days left in this halftime. What are you going to do between now and December 31st that will, when you get to the end of that year, make you look back and go, you know what? That 2020, it wasn't all about quarantine. It was about some pretty cool goal setting, goal reaching, vision casting. You're capable of anything. And I think more than anything, Summit reminds us of that we're all so capable of creating the business and the life that we want to create. So let's get into some announcements. And Alyssa, I think you've got that for us. So I will mute myself and let you take over with all the cool stuff that has come out of this summit.
Well, what's up, guys? I love coming off of Julie Voris, the GOAT of Beachbody. So fabulous and so inspiring all the time. So thanks so much for that, Julie. I have the beautiful topic of sharing you guys the different products that we have coming out for the next 6 months of the year. And here's what I want to tell you guys. The beginning of 2020 has already been so incredible. And whether you guys are just getting started or you're like me and you're 7 years in the business, this is a wave of momentum. And I need you guys to paddle really, really hard right now, okay? Really hard right now. I need you to dive into your business activities, and I need you to have your vision so crystal clear on why you are working in this business. Because what I can tell you before I get into all of this is that entrepreneurship, it is a roller coaster, you guys, and we are at like the top. And I'm not saying that just to say that, I just got chills actually, but we are at this just incredible growth in our business. And for you guys to come in this time is like so freaking incredible. I mean, so incredible. So I want you guys to just really know that anything that inspired you, any stories that you guys heard, to know that it's possible for you, to know that any of us that are on these calls, that we're just a lot like you guys are, and we've been in your seats before, and you know, we know what it's like. But if there's any time to freaking join a business, guys, it is right now. And with this lineup that we have right now to carry us into 2021, like paddle and know that you're worth it, okay? So I'm gonna get a little screen share, and this little thing that I have here, I did not make it. So if Bailey is on the line, Bailey, where'd my thing go? Hold up, guys. Got to move all this stuff around, sorry. Oh, why is it not presenting? Just present the picture. Hold on. Okay. Okay, so Bailey made this, so I'm not taking any credit because I don't make good graphics. So I think she's on these calls, so I just wanted to say thanks, Bailey. So I'm going to be going over with you guys what our lineup is for 2020 and share with you guys a little bit about each of the different programs that we have going out. So coming right away in August, we have a prenatal and postnatal bar program designed by Elise Joan. I did not catch this before, so really interesting, you guys. It is a 42-week program. So it is designed from the first trimester going into the postnatal phase. So it's designed to carry women throughout their pregnancy. In the first trimester phase, the workouts, there's 4 workouts, and then the second trimester, there's 5 workouts, and then there is 5 workouts again, and then the postnatal phase has 2 workouts. This is going right into Beachbody On Demand, so it's not going to be in a challenge pack. It'll be available for absolutely everybody, and it'll be launching on August the 3rd, so you guys can mark that date down, okay? It's low impact and high energy. And then following right with that is so there's 2 different meditation things that are coming out. The first one that's going to be coming out right away in August, Elise Joan's Bar Blend I Am cards are going to be coming out with meditations to go along with those I Am cards. And those will be going right into Beachbody On Demand. And they are going to be starting a new relaxation and meditation channel that we are going to continually be adding to. So love that we are looking at a holistic aspect, mind, body, and spirit. This is so great. I don't know about you guys, but I already spend $99 a year for a meditation app already. So again, it's going to be able to cut costs on stuff for people. And then in September as well, so this is kind of like a dual slide here, there is a 21-day meditation course that is coming out, and it is called Unstress, okay? Suze Yalof Shorts is the founder of the Unplug app, and she is the one that is creating this program for us. So we're gonna be getting more information with this. It can be used alone as a standalone resource, and all of the meditations are 10 minutes long, okay? And then since we had such good launches with our Shakeology products, they are bringing back 2 of our Shakeology flavors that did really well. Our pumpkin spice is coming in September. Can you guys please mute your lines? Pumpkin spice is coming on September the 2nd. And
that's me.
Getting mocha on November the 2nd. If you want to write those. So September 2nd and November 2nd is when we're going to be getting our Shakeology flavors coming again. And then we have a super exciting program coming in October. It's called the 30-Day Breakaway. Dallas, and I did not know this about Dallas. I'm just learning about her, reading up on her, but I didn't know that she was a track star. Did you guys know that? Dallas is a track star. I guess she's won many, many awards. And she has come up with this program that basically takes you from like a couch to a 5K within 30 days. It's made to be done outside. So what you do is you start with your resistance training inside, and then you go outside and you do your run. You can listen to it on video or audio, so you can have her like as a running coach within your ears. It is 6 workouts a week, 30 to 40 minutes a day. So that will be coming to us in October. And then I'm sure you guys heard 9-Week Control Freak coming by Autumn Calabrese. This is going to be our December program that is launching. And I am in the test group right now with the program. And I just wanted to share a little bit about this program because I know a lot of people are talking about like, oh, like Control Freak, kind of going along with the same lines of like 80-day obsession. Here's what I can tell you that I love so much about this program. It's about you taking control of your own life. So not one time in the test group was I told you can't have a glass of wine, or you can't have a cookie, or you can't have a cake, or you can't have any of those things. It was, here's the different program options or meal plan options that you can follow. Here's what I want you to do based on what you want to do to control your own life. And then the workouts are only 5 days, 20 to 30 minutes a day. So literally it's focused on rest, it's focused on relaxation, and probably for the first time in my 7 years of coaching, I've actually been able to follow the nutrition plan, the portion control containers, because I don't feel like it's stressed out. I don't feel like I'm in a diet. I don't feel like I'm in this like situation where it's like an all or nothing type of feeling. And so I I'm a warrior when it comes to my eating disorders and the things that I've overcome in the past. And this is really the first time in 7 years that I've been able to dive into containers and super trust this process. And so I'm really excited for you guys. It is a 9-week program. It is divided up into 3 separate sections. Each section is 3 weeks long. And it's a combination of density training, strength training, and Tabata. And so basically you are given the moves at the beginning of the workout, and then you try to get through these moves as fast as you can using the correct form. And so it's you against yourself. You use all the equipment you can imagine. There's a ball that we use. There's a stepper that you use. There is a new track system that now allows you to have like the pulley system and stuff like that you normally use like at the gym. That will be coming along that you can use on the door handle. So you guys will see more of that. But really something that, you know, Autumn is really, we've never really seen any kind of program like this before. So I'm super excited for that, because I think it's going to be huge, and Autumn always like totally blows it out of the water. So those are the program announcements for you guys that I have coming into the end of the year. And I just want to say just quickly, you guys, that a lot can happen in 6 months. A lot of things can happen in 6 months. And I don't want any of you guys to count yourselves out. And I just want you guys to know that, gosh, like just run during this season right now, and just always count yourself in and know that you're 100% capable. I mean it. You are 100% capable. And if there's ever been a time in this business, like to really put your big girl panties on and strap things down and frickin' run like your house is on fire to your dreams, I mean it. Run every day for the next 6 months like your house is on fire, and you will be amazed at what has happened to your life. My other thing that I want to say is go all in. Don't pick and choose, guys. Go all in. Because I went all in on my nutrition, and I went all in and actually used the tools that were provided for me instead of just picking and choosing the things that felt good and the things that were easy. My life's changed in the last 4 months. I'm gonna cry, but my life has changed because I've had these tools in front of me this whole time, you guys, and I just never like used them the way that I should have. And I just wish that I would have used them before. And so that's what I want to share with you guys. Like, you literally have everything and anything on a silver platter being delivered to you. And I want you guys to be brave enough to take control and to use the tools and to just know that everything is completely possible for you. I'm going to hand it over to my girl, Barbie.
Oh my God, you got me all hyped up. Yes. So can I tell them about the story? I don't know why it's relevant right now, but it sort of is. This was, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago. I saw Alyssa outside of that big Mercedes stadium, and you are an empath and you're such a giver. And she was crying, and I had just presented on reinventing yourself and how we have to, you know, find I have a Doberman that really needs my attention right below me, by the way. He's very vocal. So anyway, so I saw Alyssa outside the stadium, and she was crying, and she's like, the world is hurting, it needs our help. And we were this was like right in the middle of our crisis with Team Beachbody. And so fast forward, we sent each other a message after Carl's message that we lost 25% of the network, but we're still freaking standing. And you were like, we didn't give up. And so we really, truly, truly have an opportunity to blow stuff out of the water, regardless of where you've been. And so I know you're spiritual, Alyssa, but I had this, I opened up a drawer. I was hiding my little confetti. Well, I'm gonna bust out the confetti after, like at the end of our call. So anyway, I opened it and I was like, oh my God, I have this thing called Q&A for the soul, and the dog got to it. And I opened the prompt up for today, and the question is, are you where you imagined you would be? Are you where you imagined you would be? And raise your hand if you are, in a positive way, where you wish that you know, are you where you imagined you would be? And I think a lot of us are not. Maybe you wish that you would have done all this stuff. Maybe you wish you were farther along now. And Alyssa, you just said it, right? Like, you wished that you would have taken advantage of all the resources before, but you didn't. But here you are, now you are. And so it speaks to what you were talking about, Julie, about halftime. And I was saying today, I was writing somewhere that this is, to me, I don't watch football, I know, blasphemy, but to me, this is like New Year's Eve. You know what I mean? Like, today is New Year's Day. So halftime, New Year's Day, if you're not where you wanted to be, this is the chance to switch things around. And at any given point, we're just a decision away from turning our business around. So tomorrow's prompt, I peeked right when Julie was speaking, for July 21st, do you have a view of the sky? Do you have a view of the sky? Isn't that beautiful? Do you have a view of the sky? Like, where are you? Like, I want you to look up. I want you to look higher. It is all available to us. Your time has not passed. It is now. And I realized that one of the aha moments that I had was that I've been thinking like, oh, I'm seeing, you know, I've been a coach for almost 13 years. It'll be 13 years in September. And I've been seeing all these rock star coaches, and somehow I've been telling myself the story that my time has passed. And it was only watching, and I'm going to get to my little part of this thing. It's only in watching the trainings that I had my aha moment, which was, girl, that's a story you've been telling yourself, because there's no evidence that your time has passed. I mean, all these other girls, they're just busting their butt, and you just need to do whatever it is that you need to do to make things be what you want them to be. So I'm supposed to speak about, okay, so what if you missed all the different trainings? Or what if you were taking the selfies, you were watching the celebration, but you didn't bust out your little notebook? And like Julie and Alyssa and Brittany, I also have a brand new notebook just for Summit. See, successful people do similar things. And mine says, just building my empire. And it is just for Summit. So absolutely get yourself one for $4 at Home Goods or Amazon. And I'm gonna share my screen because I created this. I'm not a fancy graphics person. So this is just a Google Doc. I will share it with you guys, and super simple. Okay, on Monday, by the end of Monday, because I'm the team leader, I was feeling, I hate the word overwhelmed, but I was feeling it. I was already feeling behind. I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't do this, I didn't do this. And on top of our summit, I had signed up for another 3-day leadership workshop. So I was trying to like double fist and do both. And so I was feeling behind, but I'm gonna share the link with you. We actually only have 10 little 20-minute or less workshops, okay? I know that Monica Lopez on today's National Wake Up Call, which was totally awesome, and she's amazing, and it's been amazing to see her rise like that. But personally, I don't even think you need to pick and choose. I think that there are 2 reasons that you should watch each one of these. Number one, if you're a baby coach, I think you need to know why you should push to team leader. And since there are only 20 minutes or less, I think that you can spend, you know, you decide, right? I put a little thing here, date you'll watch. You decide. You can watch 3 in an hour, 2 a day, whatever it is. But for each one of these, I want you to make a copy of this document. Put the date when you're going to watch this. And I think that you really should watch this. Why? Because, Max, because, do you guys hear him? He's so funny. Because you never know what it is that you're going to hear. And I like what you said, Julie, that do you write down sentences that people say and how they say it? And I think the times that I have been transformed in my business, do you hear him, you guys? It's hilarious. The times that I have been transformed, if I touch him, everything's good in the world. Okay. The times that I have been transformed in my business, it has been because someone said something in a certain way, and I might not necessarily be interested in, you know, confidence and limiting beliefs right now, but Bonnie Engel will say something that I'm like, oh my God, yes, like, why didn't I see that? Why haven't I seen that? And then it just takes me to a whole other level, okay? So that's why I do want you to watch everything. And if you are a leader, I didn't put the links because obviously that's in the round table, but I did put the names of those. And I think that as leaders, we do need to watch the more basic trainings on Success Club so that we can guide our coaches. And so just because you're hitting Success Club, you know, whatever, 20 or whatever, if you're a diamond or star diamond, or it doesn't matter what, I think that you should still watch them because we can help our coaches who are struggling with Success Club 1, right? Success Club 5. And so the only tips that I have remaining for you are, so decide when you're going to watch each of the trainings, and then go ahead and set the date. And then in my little notebook, I'm not saying that you should use this, but you're welcome to make a copy and take your own notes there. But so I have my notes, right? The actual things that people are saying and then the actionable items. Then I have aha moments that I write down, and it has nothing to do with what people say, okay? So my aha moment, I was watching Amy Silverman, and Amy Silverman did a presentation, and she was saying how she never went for 15 star because it was taught by her upline that, you know, that it was really not that big of an, like, not that an important goal. I am that said upline, okay? And that's because that's what was taught to me by my ex-boyfriend. And he was like, and he was a numbers guy, okay? So I didn't go for a 15-star till I was like 9 years in the business, because I just repeated this same story that we shouldn't go for 15-star, that we should go for volume, okay? And I've been a 7-figure per year earner for a long time, so I thought I was right until I had my aha moment listening to Amy Silverman. And my aha moment was, oh my gosh, I haven't thought that we shouldn't go for 15-star for 4 or 5 years, but I never communicated that to my team. And so even though I have a lot of, rock star coaches in my downline, I need to be communicating things that I learned, because people still look up to me, people still respect me. And I just assumed that people didn't need my opinion anymore because, they're rock stars. And so I just got goosebumps. But man, I could have, if I had communicated this belief that I had, that I don't have this limiting belief anymore. Now I understand it was a limiting belief, because today I believe that we can build for volume and get the damn bonuses, right? And so, yeah, that was my aha moment. Okay, so that's just an example. And so I want you to do that as you're listening to the trainings. What things kind of slap you in the face, or what make you go, aha, and then write those down, because those things can completely change the face of your business. And then finally, as I'm listening and I'm taking notes, I actually write take action or to do. And then I circle it. I'm kind of messy when I write. And so I know that I am going to take action. So I'm taking a bunch of notes. And today I did it just for Bonnie Engels, just as an example. I mean, it's confidence and limiting beliefs really for new coaches. But I was like taking notes, and I was taking myself to the process. And then there were things like take action, create a list, or do this. And so that's it. That has been my method year after year after year, because we are not bombarded, but we are presented with so much information that there isn't possibly a way that we can do it all. And so once I look at my Summit notebook and I see, 10 to-dos and 10 or 5 ahas, I just go quickly to my ahas and to-dos. And then I decide, okay, what am I going to do first? And take notes, you guys. The last thing that I have for you guys is take notes. I don't want you, because I did that, and then I went and I re-listened, because I was listening in bed. I was listening as I was like doing my hair. And so when you do that, you miss out on things, and you might not need that thing now. Okay. So I had a little, we'll just call it a crisis last week, with just BS. Sometimes you deal with BS, and I didn't need to hear I thought I didn't need to hear in that moment when Trent Shelton in the leadership thing said, raise your floor, like raise your standard. What are you going to tolerate? What are you not going to tolerate? And then boom, God, the universe presented me with an opportunity for me to test that out. And I was like, you know what? I am not going to lower my standards. I am not going to tolerate this nonsense. And I didn't. And then I feel like I am forever changed, and that I just needed, and that gives me goosebumps again, I just needed to take myself to the next level by not putting up with nonsense. And I'm different because of that one sentence that he said that I didn't know that I would need at that moment, and that I needed a few days later. Okay, so that's all I got for you. And then I'm going to hand it over to the wonderful Nikki, who's going to talk about mindset and goals, I think. And this is so exciting. Thank you.
Thank you, Barbie. So yeah, I don't know how I'm going to top all that, but I'm going to certainly try. So I'm going to definitely try to leave you guys with some things that allow you to see your belief in yourself, maybe before you even have seen it. Maybe you don't see it yet. And I'm here to tell you that that was me, that I was one of those people. I was the discount coach sign up for fear of failure, and the girl who just wanted the discount, didn't really want to work the business until I saw what was possible. And I've been coaching for 7 years now, and I couldn't imagine doing anything other than this. So if you're not inspired by listening to the last 3 women, I don't know what's going to inspire you. Hopefully you are on summit overload. But I will definitely suggest that you spend your personal development time just catching up on the summit calls, on the trainings, like she said, watching, those opening and closing ceremonies, listening to the challenge group, like the challenge winners, which gets me every single time, which is why we're here. It is the favorite part of Summit for me. Listening to the top 10, sharing their stories. This was one of the first years that listening to their speeches and their talks and all of that actually made it feel like top 10 was very doable. And I hope you guys felt that. Like, it just felt really cool and down to earth and different. And I really loved it. So that was amazing. But now that you have heard everything that's been shared and everything that we have in the works, I really hope that you guys are ready to just speak some huge end of year Summit 2021 goals. Like, what's it going to look like? So I'm here to tell you to stop playing small, to stop sitting on last year's failures, maybe 2 years ago failure, maybe 3 years, depending on how long you've been in this business, or the shortcomings that you felt. I will tell you, I tell all of my coaches, there is no reason to not be pushing huge goals for the end of the year, because the worst thing that could happen is you don't hit that goal right then. But you know what it does? It sets you up for a pretty bomb January 2021 and a really great start to the new year for you to continue pushing towards those goals, to hit some pretty big goals early in 2021. So there's really no reason to write down the scary goals, to put those into, on your vision board. And it's time to stop thinking that only the other people can do this and not you. It's time to visualize yourself heading to St. Louis Summit 2021 as a blank coach, and you fill that in. So like, fill in that blank. What does that say for you? Does it say you're going to be a 2-star diamond coach? Does it say you're going to be a premier coach? Does it say you're a 5-star diamond? Are you an elite coach? Does it say I'm going to be making this amount of income? I'm going to surpass what I'm currently making at my job that I dread. So this is what it's going to look like for me. Visualize the energy that you guys want to attract, the excitement that you have for this business and heading to that event, having leveled up. That is what you have to do. You have to visualize the team surrounding you at the parties, visualize the sessions that you're sitting there with everybody, the super workout at 6 a.m. on the streets or wherever we are, because there's so many of us, and what the rank's going to look like, walking that stage, the income that's going to be there at that time, who will be there with you, and tell them. Go tell them now. Go find those people who have been sitting on your team that have the limiting beliefs, but you believe in them and you put that belief out there. Go and do the scary invite to the person who is on your dream team that you've been so afraid to invite because of fear of whatever it might be, and tell them what you think that they could do with this business. You guys, my first summit, I was a year into coaching, and I had watched my coach go to the summit event the year prior, and I just loved the community that I saw there. I didn't really understand like all of the accolades and the things, but I saw the pictures of everybody at the parties and the events and the team pics and all of that. Everybody was dressed similar, like different themes, different, nights or whatever. And I loved it so much that I knew I was going that following year. And so I did. And I hopped on a plane, leaving my husband and my baby girl for the very first time ever, scared out of my ever-living mind that I was doing something so bold for myself without them. And I headed to Vegas for the first time, packed myself like a sardine into a hotel room with 3 other people and had no idea what I was in for. I sat in the nosebleeds with my team on the side of like the large MGM Grand Convention Center. And I remember one of the corporate reps at the time happened to like go up into the stands and grabbed me and my team. He actually grabbed me because we had known each other recently and said, "Hey, do you want to come down?" And I said, "Can my team come?" And there was only a handful of us. He was like, yeah. So we got pulled down and we came down to these floor seats to get a better look at this show they're putting on. And I was so pumped. So we headed down super giddy just to be on the same level as so many who had been crushing the business and you look up to in this business. And it was inspiring. It was so inspiring. It was such a good memory. I mean, I'm telling the story now. And I said, next year, I will be on the floor, sitting here, having earned my dang seat. Nobody's going to tell me that I can come down. I'm going to earn the seat. It's going to have my name on it. And we're going to do it. And we hit elite for the first time that year. And we have not stopped since. I decided that Success Club All-Star was something I could do. I decided that Success Club Legend was something that I could do. I decided that Elite every single year was something I certainly could do. I decided that Million Club or Legacy Club was something I was worthy of. I decided I wanted my team down there with me. So we made some really big push goals with them that were like a non-negotiable. And we just said, look, I said, why not me? Why not us? Like, I don't want just the floor seat by myself. I want all of us there. And I decided in that moment that everything that I had written down and pinned onto my vision board in our tiny spare bedroom apartment at this little makeshift desk was something that our team was worthy of. And, because it took a bit for me to believe the belief to hit me, I needed to breathe that belief into myself. And I needed to also breathe that belief into my team before they saw it in themselves. So here I am telling you guys that if no one else has breathed that belief into you, we hopefully are doing that for you tonight. That is what we are here to do. That is what leaders are here to always do. Whether you have an active upline or, whatever, you guys, this business works when you work. It is not up to anyone else but you to bring that, not even motivation, because sometimes you don't even have it. It's the dedication. It's just the showing up that you've got to do. And, maybe you've been to Summit and thought, well, I'll never walk that stage, or, it must be nice to have such an awesome seat. If only I could get to one of those parties or those celebrations. Because maybe you've not even thought about going to a summit because you want to hit certain goals before you can even get there. I have news for you. The small-minded, closed-minded, negative mindset is going to be your demise. It is going to be the worst thing that could possibly happen to you in this business. So I want you to shut all of it off. And if you are making Diamond an entire year goal, I'm going to say something. I'm here to tell you that I think you're playing too small because I hear it a lot. That feels like a comfort goal. And I hear goals like that all the time. And the reason that I know it's a comfort goal is because at one point I said that too. So one more quick story. I remember calling my coach. It was 2013. I was at my first real in-person coffee shop meeting with my very first coach that I'd sponsored. She was a friend who was all in with me. She later gave up on this business. Definitely kicks herself now. I know that for a fact. But we called her and we had her on speakerphone. And I remember saying to Stephanie, how did you ever find 8 people to do this with you? How did you do this? And then how did you ever get 2 of them to Emerald? It really, truly felt impossible to me. Until I decided that it wasn't impossible. And we went Diamond 4 months after that meeting. We ended the next full year Elite. We hit 15-star Diamond in just under 3 years. I found way more than 8 that wanted to do this with me. They are there. They want this too. They see it. They have been reaping the rewards of this business from the inside out in all aspects, whether it is just this transformation of personal development and growth, or it is a life change of freedom through whatever that might be. They see that belief, and it's seeing that belief and sharing that out loud and bringing that energy to who you are inviting, like I said earlier, sharing this opportunity with and deciding that your team is worth it. And as you hit those goals, make sure that you always have a new focus goal. So if you're like me, I'm going to end with just sharing with you guys how I choose to make my goal setting feel attainable, but a little bit scary. So it needs to be for me like on a timeline a little bit. And so I tend to make my goals according to like seasons and beach body quarterly event style goals. And so that vision board to get you to the end goal, which right now, kind of speaking to either end of year or Summit 2021 vision, start thinking about your goals like this if you don't have a plan. This is how I break them up and make them attainable, because some of them will take a little bit of time to get there. So for me, it's like, okay, what's next? So fall, which is crazy to say, and leadership. We don't know that that's a thing, but with COVID, we don't know what's happening, but it's still a goal. It's still my fall leadership. That's my thing. Then the next one is like December, Christmas, end of 2020. So that kind of breaks that up into another little section. My next goal after that is then around the Success Club trip time. So it's like you usually see Success Club trip around March, April, and then leading into Summit, which is St. Louis 2021 in July. So you end up getting like 3 to 4 months for each one of those. And it just feels like I can do some pretty good stuff here if I'm like really diving in and really setting some big goals. So whether it's rank, income, recognition, like whatever that is after we've had this big powwow tonight, like hopefully you guys can put some things on your board. But yeah, that is kind of how I go about it. But you guys, there's no goal that cannot happen. Like why not you is all that I really can say after this. Is just, that is where my mindset changed, my belief changed. It was like, why am I sitting up here? It's fine. It's great. I still had a great time, but like, I know I can do that too. And you can do that too. It's just that you have to show up behind the scenes when it's not flashy and it's not celebrated and it's not like the thing that everybody sees. The ones who are finding that success are the ones who are digging in behind the scenes, doing that nitty gritty stuff early in the morning, late night, like just whenever they can grind, they're doing it. For me, 7 years in, I find times of like hustle and times of flow for me, consistency and all that. But yeah, that's kind of where I will leave it. I don't know if anybody has anything to like close with or questions or what we want to do here.
I can close it, Nikki, if that's okay. So we'll just wrap it up because then we want to respect everyone's time. These are the 2 pieces that I took away from these amazing ladies, presentations. Number 1, overwhelm is a choice. Say it again. Overwhelm is a choice. Action is also a choice. Action is also a choice. Overwhelm is a choice and action is a choice. Those are 2 mindsets that are completely decision-based. So if you sat on this call and took no notes and did nothing with it, that is also a decision. If you sat on this call, were inspired, had a fire lit, and took a ton of notes, that is also a decision. Every single thing in this life, not just this business, gets to be a decision. So now we get to decide what we want to do with the last few months of this year and who we want to do with. What a gift that is that we have right now, that we get to do that. And we get to offer it to other people who don't even know this gift exists yet. How freaking cool is our job? And we get to do it in workout clothes, drinking Energize. Are you kidding me, people? Get to work. It's the second half. You're out on the field. Throw the ball. Let's go. Have a great rest of your week.